Good evening, everyone. I have been selected with this honor to, first of all, acknowledge all of you here and what we're trying to do in this city called South Fulton. If you would bow your heads as we begin to give respect. Heavenly Father, as we come before you this evening, we ask your blessings not only on the food that's been prepared and that we will partake of, but bless this meeting such that we can have harmony, and even in discord we can have harmony. Let this be the beginning of something magnificent, that we can leave here informed and have more understanding of what it's like to be in the new city of South Fulton. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Good evening, I'm Councilmember Willis with the City of South Fulton, and this is going to be my last official town hall. If you all want to go ahead, and I wanted to make, it nice. So it's gonna be formal but informal, but I do have dinner prepared for you all. And we have servers in the back. Are we ready to serve, Kim? Okay, so if you all at your leisure, if you want to go ahead and get something to eat, we'll go ahead and get started. I give you about maybe 15 minutes to go ahead and get something to eat, and then I'll go ahead and get started. No particular order, just go ahead. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You all are fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I want to start off by recognizing my colleague, District 2 Representative, Mr. Aaron Johnson. Mr. Aaron Johnson represents a little of Sandtown, a lot of Cliftondale, and a little of Welcome All. And we have representatives from every department in our city here. So you will be hearing from them. I'm going to say what I have to say, and I'm going to sit down. The city manager is going to take over. She's going to introduce her department heads. And we're also going to leave some time for you all to ask questions if you have questions, okay? I wrote out what I wanted to say because, you know, after serving for 9 years, I can sit here and talk forever. So it was kind of hard to condense everything, but I did. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who came out to my final and official town hall meeting for District 3. It has truly been an honor to serve you over the past 9 years, 3 terms, and I appreciate the trust that you have placed in me to represent our community. With significant changes ahead, I'm excited to let you know that I plan to qualify this week to run for the 5th District Fulton County Commissioner seat. So I want to invite all of you all out to the IBEW building when I qualify at 10 o'clock. I would love to have you there with me as I take this next step. But rest assured, my commitment to District 3 remains unwavering, and running for commissioner doesn't mean I'm leaving the district behind. I will continue to advocate for improved county services and for our district and our city and other cities. And once the city council calls for a special election and candidates qualify, I will be endorsing someone who I believe will continue this progress. The election may be called for May, it may be called for November. I can't preempt what my colleagues will do. I know what I have requested, but it is up to the council. They cannot call for a special election until I qualify for another seat. I'd also like to take this moment to recognize all the boards and appointees who have served me during my tenure. Some of them are here. We have the code enforcement on board of code enforcement. It was Mr. Joe Thomas. He's been serving since the inception that I've been on city council. Board of ethics, it has been Attorney Jill Pope. For the development authority, it has been Kimberly Mays. If you're here, please stand. For the environmental committee, Ms. Pamela C. Harvey. And you know she's been a fierce advocate. For the Historic and Cultural Landmark Commission, it's been John Herring. For the Planning Commission, it has been Shannon Jones. Also for Public Arts, it was Ms. Pamela Harvey. And for the Zoning Board of Appeals, Mr. DeAndre Mathis, he's here. He's in line. Mr. DeAndre Mathis is also running for the insurance commissioner for the state, and he lives right here in our city. The Use of Board, Walter Calloway. Use of Board Force, that's the Use of Force Board, Walter Calloway. And then the Veterans Advisory Committee, Mr. David Williams. And for the Downtown Development Authority, it has been Darius Rollins. I want to tell all of you all, thank you for your service. Let me tell you the unique thing about most of my board members. Mr. Bell, you remember the question was asked when we all ran in that first cycle, and if you do not win, will you continue to support the city? And although Mr. Bell has not served on any boards, he has been a staunch advocate and supporter. Most of the people who serve on my boards, they ran for office. They ran for the seat. And we were enemies. They wanted to serve. I appointed them, and they have served diligently. And I thank them. I thank them for their service, and I thank them for supporting me, and I thank them for supporting this district and the city. So I just want to point out a few things, highlight a few things, because a lot has been accomplished over the 9 years. I want to, together we have made, a lot of incredible strides. You remember there was once blighted apartments on Welcome Road. And now those apartments have been transformed to new housing opportunities. They are workforce housing. You have to have income to stay in those apartments. We have completely remodeled a previously closed fire station that was on Welcome. We have invested over $300,000 to rebuild tennis courts. We have put an additional $50,000 so that we now have lighting on our tennis courts. Welcome Park, we have totally rebuilt the pavilions. We have replaced the dry rotted benches that were throughout the park. We have fully renovated the pool. That was an $8 million investment. We have installed new flooring in the gym. That's why we have the covering, because we don't want to mess up the floors. We have also, we have installed a new gym with new equipment. That equipment that was in the gym was rusted, and it was over 30 years old. We have also improved several hazardous intersections throughout the district. We have installed many roundabouts, and more is coming. Let's talk about the Roosevelt Highway Plaza. We did not have a police precinct. We have a police precinct there. We have several new businesses, thriving businesses, and more is coming. If you remember, when I got elected, that store was horrible. Thanks to several members in this community, we advocated, and we got Wayfield to put over $300,000 of investment in that store. We got rid of a club that was a nuisance to the community, and now we have Grown and Sexy. We have Sasha Sweets. We have, remember that blighted bank that sat there for years? I am pleased to say we're going to be having a ribbon cutting for Big Mama's brunch spot. I'm very excited about that. We got rid of that Wayne trailer that was there that got busted for drugs. Y'all remember the Wayne trailer that was there for a long time? Well, thanks to code enforcement and police, they got busted for selling drugs out of that trailer, and now it has been completely torn down. So if you ride by, it's gone. And my husband got mad at me about that because he said that trailer sold some good wings, but hey, you can't sell drugs in District 3. So those are just some of the things that we have accomplished together. I can't take control of it all. I want to recognize our Main Street Red Oak Historic District Board, because I don't have to micromanage this board. Can you all please stand? Some of the members are here. I want to thank them. They have led a lot of the revitalization in this area, and we're having a ribbon cutting on Thursday for the Welcoming Center. I'm very excited about that. That building was purchased from the Fulton County Housing Authority for like $150,000 in 2017. And so now it is going to be our economic development Main Street building. And I'm not going to steal the thunder. Ms. Subanan and her department heads will talk to you about the future. But some of the key legislation that I want to highlight that we did, some of it was popular, some of it was not. The Feeding the City benefited many of the residents during COVID. We had weekly food distributions. That was legislation that I sponsored. We partnered with many food banks, many grocery stores, and we fed the entire community weekly during COVID. The Renaya Major Speed Enforcement legislation is not as popular, but it has reduced our speed in our school zones by 95%. And it was named after a young lady that was killed in one of our school zones. was my legislation, and they've done a great job revitalizing the Roosevelt area. And I told you all that that area was going to change, and it has. You see the changes coming. The TAD legislation is legislation that we use to incentivize developers to do development in our city. The hotel motel tax is tax that people who come in our city and stay in our hotels, that's tax they pay, and it comes back to our city. The sanitation ordinance was not popular, but sanitation is affordable for what? Everybody. And we still have the cheapest sanitation bill in Metro Atlanta. The 21st century policing legislation, which led to us creating the PAL program, which was a recommendation from the 21st century policing, and creating the Police Citizen Academy. And we do not hire police officers who have been involved in excessive force or conflict from other agencies. And then lastly, what got us the most attention recently is the ICE Detention Center legislation, where it says we will update our zoning code to not allow detention centers to be a allowable use in our city. They can take those detention centers somewhere else. We don't want that in our city. And so I'm going to stop here because I want to bring up our mayor so she can say a few words. But thank you all for your support. Most of all, I want to recognize my husband because he got me in this mess. When I say that, I was born and raised in Savannah, and he refused to come to Savannah because he didn't like hurricanes. So I had to come here. And I went to school. I have a BA in accounting, and I have a master's in accounting. And but serving my community is what I was trained to do. That's how I was raised. That's the kind of family I was raised in. And my husband encouraged me to run for office. I love helping people get elected, but my husband encouraged me to run for this seat. And this community is special to us because his family moved in this community in 1977. And his mother still stays in his childhood home in Vermont Estates. And he was raised in this community. His brother stays in this community. And we raise kids in this community. Our son is doing well. Our daughter is doing well. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to serve, because I have given this city 15 years of my life, almost 9 years serving, 5 years advocating for the city, and it took a lot of time away from my family. So thank you for allowing me to serve. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for being a part of this remarkable journey. Let's move forward. I recently saw something with one of the candidates saying, let's start fresh. Well, I feel like that slogan was a slap in the face to everybody who helped us get here. We don't need to start fresh. We need to move forward and keep it going. And so, if you hear a candidate saying, let's start fresh, don't vote for that candidate. Because we need to move forward. We need to build on what we have already built. And we need to make sure that the next person that succeeds me can work well with our mayor. And I'm sure she's going to have something to say about who the seat should be filled by, and work with the rest of this council. We have had a lot of chaos, and we have done a lot through the chaos that did not get highlighted, but we have accomplished a lot. And we have a great city manager now. She is building a good team for her to move the city forward. And while we're not perfect, no city is, we can always do better. But we got to continue to work with the body, communicate with the body, and we got to make sure that we have people that is going to work in collaboration with each other and the community. We're not going to always agree, but leadership is about making decisions for the good of all, not always doing what one person says or two persons says. We got to get out of our circle of influence and make decisions that's going to benefit everybody. And so, again, I will be making an endorsement because I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to even be more fierce now that I don't have restrictions on me. Meaning that I couldn't say anything, I couldn't, say a lot of things, I couldn't do a lot of things because I was a council person. But I still will work in collaboration with my colleagues. My focus is getting us the health services we deserve here in the city, getting us the senior services we deserve in the city, bringing our libraries up to par, making sure that the justice system is equally funded, making sure that we have more access to health care. That is my focus as your county commissioner, but also supporting my mayor, who's going to come up right now, Mayor Carmelita Guns, who I helped get elected, and I'm not ashamed to say. I want to tell you, thank you for your support. She has been my seatmate to the right of me for 9 years, and we're totally opposite. She's not as vocal, but she is a very smart young lady. She's very strategic. She is very calculating, and she loves seniors. She loves people, and she's going to take this city to the next level. And I want to turn this over to you now. Thank you.
The pressure, moving South Fulton forward. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out to this momentous, I'm going to be sad, because as she mentioned, we've been doing this thing for about 9.5 to 10 years. I have been that elbow, I have been that person that has pinched and have kicked Councilwoman Willis under the table. But the thing is, and that many of you all know, as she has served as your councilwoman for the past 9 years, is you know her heart. You know that she is passionate about this community, and you know where you stand with her on day one. If she doesn't like it, she will let you know. Am I right or wrong? She is very transparent. So I appreciate that in her. Now, we do need to make sure that we get a leader that is going to work very well with this council, because we're moving the city of South Fulton forward. We're not about the foolishness. We're not about the chaos. We're about getting the work done and people seeing that we can govern and lead the city. Of course, I need a fierce person on the Fulton County side to make sure that we get what we need done in this city. So again, it is bittersweet. You've done a lot of work. You have done good work in the city of South Fulton. You kicked up a lot of dust too, but that's part of it. So again, I want you all to support this young lady on her way as she's moving on to greater opportunities. I also want you to thank this staff, because we're not the easiest as council members to get along with. We work hard and we expect them to work hard, and sometimes that can cause emails late at night, people, not smiling at work, but we're trying to bring a different culture to the city of South Fulton. So again, thank you all for your continued support. Thank you, Councilwoman Willis. I'm going to miss you, but you're not going anywhere. So she will probably continue to be right here. I do want to recognize Councilman Aaron Johnson. Did you stand up? Did they recognize you already? Oh, okay. And for the next couple of weeks, we will have this space filled, so we're going to need that support to continue on with the programs that we have. And you won't miss a beat. So again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope you're enjoying the food, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you.
So on your tables, you have comment cards. If you have questions, go ahead and complete the comment cards. We'll have someone come around. In the back, look, I don't want to take any of this home, so those are some of the trinkets that I have. Take them all as mementos. I also have calendars for you all. In these calendars, I have the city council, when we have city council meetings, when the election dates happen, and so this is just my way to remind you all to engage with city council. We have pictures of some of the events we've done throughout the year, so these calendars are for you. I am going to bring up our honorable city manager, who's been with us for 2 years and about 10 months, and we have recently renewed her contract for another 4 years because she is amazing. So whoever gets elected will have to work with her for the next 4 years. She has led us out of controversy. She has moved projects that we had been wanting to get into progress for years. And she came in and she got the pool open. I mean, we had waited 3 years to get that pool open. And she pulled everybody in the room and she was like, look, what needs to happen? How much is this really going to cost? And she did it. Whatever we ask her to do, she effectuates our policy. I would say everyone isn't perfect, but she's darn near. And I am just glad that we finally got us a good city manager that stabilized us. And guess what? We did a 360 review so that employees can give us feedback on how they feel about working, and that feedback was very good. So that says a lot, that employees like working here, they like working for her. I know you all see some of the negative headlines, but all cities have them. We're not perfect, but we are striving to do better, be better, and we are a city on the rise. And I owe a lot of that to her. So I'm going to bring her up, turn this meeting over to her, and you all, if you want to eat, grab the trinkets. I don't want to take any of that stuff home. I just want to say thank you, Ms. Subadan. Thank you for moving us forward. And I know that I'm going to see the city do great things the next 4 years. She's tough, but I'm tough, and so I appreciate her toughness. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Councilwoman Willis, for those very kind words. I hope everybody recorded that. Did you all write that down? All those kind things she said. I hope you wrote it down. But thank you all for coming out tonight. I am going to try to make our presentation move along because I know that, you know, it's already late into the evening, but we have a lot of really good information to share with you. And before I go further, I want to introduce some of our amazing team. Dr. Cedric Alexander is our interim public safety director. Chad Jones is our fire chief. Antonio Valenzuela is our director of public works. Teresa Parham is our deputy director of economic development. Tenard Turner is our director of parks. And Trevor Thornton is program manager in economic development. And Brian Davis is our Deputy Director of General Services. The Director of General Services is sick tonight. Greg Dyson wasn't able to make it. And just by the hair of his chinny chin chin, the other Mohammed, Lawrence Mohammed, just slipped in. He is sitting in for Paul Mohammed, who is out of town this evening. So I have several other team members in the room. If you'll all stand to be recognized. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Don't be shy. Thank you all so much. None of the work that we do would be possible without an amazing team. So I'm going to run through a couple of slides to let you know some of what has been happening in your city, particularly in District 3, but citywide, some of the things that have been going on. Last year, some of you participated in our strategic planning exercise, and we identified 4 key goals. I'm not going to read the slides because everybody can read, but we wanted to make sure that as an organization and as a city, we followed a set of guiding principles that were reflective of the things that you as a community said you wanted us to concentrate on. So you wanted us to be more efficient. You wanted us to collaborate and improve your quality of life. You wanted us to be financially stable and have economic diversification. And you wanted your infrastructure in the city of South Fulton to be strengthened. So as we make decisions as a board and council and as a staff, we use these guidelines and the many goals that are outlined in the strategic plan, which can be found on our website, as we lead and guide the city. When I arrived here, we had a budget of under 200 million. This year, our budget is 425 million. A lot of that is debt service for our new big facilities, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And we also had not been diversifying our funds. And so the mayor and council empowered me to look at opportunities for us to diversify the revenue from taxpayers into secure and state-allowed investments. And we went from having no interest earnings to our last check last month of $18.1 million in revenue. We also diversified over 5 different financial institutions, because how many people know it's not good to have all your eggs in one basket? Right. And so while we have these funds, this has helped us in the face of increased costs, inflation. Every project that we put out to bid comes back higher than what we budgeted. So some of these funds are helping us so that we do not have to ask you to raise taxes. What we do is use these funds to help us to fund our projects and look for more effective ways to do business. One of the tasks that the council empowered me with is to look at opportunities to acquire additional property for the city of South Fulton. And so we are transitioning from being renters to owners, and have transferred 175 acres of property from Fulton County. This is property that was promised to the city of South Fulton when you became a city. So we were excited to be able to bring that across the finish line, including the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. We did our last closing in December. We've also acquired land for fire stations, for future growth, for green space, and even for future development when we have seen that there's an opportunity for us to acquire land at a very affordable rate. And most recently, just last Friday, we closed on a parcel at 4380 Stonewall Tell to relocate fire station number 3 in District 3. Though not in the district, I have to say this council has been unanimous in supporting our acquisitions. We have purchased a property on Old National that has been sitting as arrested development for over 10 years, which we will transform into our future home of municipal court. Right now we're in lease space, we've been virtual, we've bounced around with municipal court, but our design work started last year, and we hope to break ground on this project before the end of the year and have an opening of municipal court in 2027. The city administration building came in right on time. We almost just closed on this building, a 40,000 square foot building that we purchased. The whole second floor had already been renovated. Some of you have been out to our administration building. It does house our back-end operations, and we were fortunate enough to close on that just in time to discover that we had mold at City Hall, and so we had to move everybody out of City Hall while we did a full renovation there. And we have also purchased land for future City Hall. I can't tell you where it is, but I can tell you it's in District 2. One of the big things that every time I have the opportunity, I thank residents for voting for T-SPLOST, Transportation Special Purpose Local Options Sales Tax. That's a 3/4 penny that we use for transportation projects. Antonio's gonna come up and talk about his projects. I'm not gonna steal his thunder. But this will be on the referendum in November. We can't tell you how to vote. We can't even tell you to vote for it. But what we can do is tell you all of the projects that have been done with this 3/4 penny. Currently, we have about $24.6 million of projects that have been completed in the last 2 years, and about $100 million that are currently under construction, considering not just our dollars, but state and federal dollars as well. We are very aggressive with going after grants from the state and federal opportunities. Some of you have seen the EV charging stations. This is a new initiative. One of our guiding principles is environmentalism, and we lead by example. These charging stations, in a partnership with Georgia Power, are going in all over our city. We encourage people to use these and to make the transition toward electric vehicles. And we are providing this at this time as a pilot at no cost to anyone who uses our EV charging stations, our level 2 charging stations. One of the things I was tasked with is how do we help to increase community pride and reduce littering in our community. And I'm pleased to say that you've seen these signs all over the city. It's helped us with our litter. We're interested in continuing to push this to get people to understand they're in the city of South Fulton and to have pride about our city and to not litter. We're taking this particular initiative. The Public Affairs Department has been phenomenal in taking this initiative citywide, and we're going to be taking this into the schools with our new mascot called Sofu the bird. And he will, we have workbooks for young kids and activities to help them to have pride in their community and reduce littering. And this is one of our very large initiatives. It is to build our own police headquarters. We bought land many years ago on Old National. That is a $55.8 million project. And the other is for our fire headquarters and training center, which is a $58 million project. We bought land on that years ago. And we are in the final stages of underwriting of our $96 million bond. And we expect to have a groundbreaking on both of these projects in the next quarter. One of the things, I'm not going to go too far into it, but we have had every consecutive year that the city has been a city, but in particular in the last 3 years, we've seen a reduction in Part 1 crimes. But I'll go ahead and let the police department speak to that. And as you know, every district council person has a significant amount of public outreach. And in this district, Councilwoman Willis is like the queen of events. She brings people out all the time and allows you to have the opportunity. It's okay, you can clap. Allows you to have the opportunity to fellowship, get good information. She puts events on for seniors, allows you to come out and connect, and adds to your vibrancy and your quality of life. Most recently, just at our last meeting, I'm pleased to announce that we passed a policy to do a honorary street renaming in honor of Dr. Carter, Senator Donzella James, and Pastor Gregory Pollard. This was Councilwoman Willis's last piece of legislation as a city council person. And so looking ahead, we have a lot of exciting things that are coming to District 3. I want to talk a little bit about the Welcome Center. How many people have been waiting a really long time for 4800 Campbell to happen? Say it loud for the people in the back. So we are finally at a point where we have completed plans. This is a rendering of what the entrance will look like. This is the meeting space that you will have for your Red Oak meetings and your other community meetings. This is an exterior rendering of what the project will look like. And one of the things that was very challenging with this project is just to explain partly why it took so long. Is there are some structural challenges with the existing building. So we had to get a structural engineer because Councilwoman was adamant that she did not want us to just tear it down. You know, when bidders came out to look at it, they said, you know, it's just not worth it, tear it down and start over. But she was adamant that we needed to preserve this piece of history. So what we've had to do is get a structural engineer. They have gone through the building and they have told us how we can preserve. When you see the renovations, don't get terrified. There is a lot of it we will have to demolish in order to shore up the foundation. How many people know it's important to have a strong foundation? And so don't be alarmed. When you see the level of demolition, it's because we need to have a sure and solid foundation. But we're excited. There is a groundbreaking on this project on Thursday. I believe it's at 10 a.m. Please come out and celebrate the beginning of this project. We are very excited about finally getting it off the ground just before Councilwoman Willis leaves. This is the second floor. We're going to do a mezzanine on that second floor for storage, and looking to put some really nice lighting in the building, some period type of infrastructure so it doesn't lose the original charm of the building. Welcome all. So we've done quite a bit of work at the exterior on the pool at Welcome All, but we haven't done a renovation. We did a lot of work in this room, haven't done much in the way of the main areas, and so we will be getting ready to start this work. We will do it in phases in order to keep the building open as much as we possibly can. We are going to be focusing on the lobby area and the break room. Phase 1 will be a refresh of the restrooms, replacing all the floors, reworking that main area, and incorporating some things that we believe are going to be render the facility more suitable for how it's used today. So I wanted to show you, I don't know how well you can see these pictures, but we can email this. You've all seen the restroom. We're going to be doing a full refresh there. And in this area, you're all familiar with these spaces, the big lobby desk and the green and burgundy color. Not sure. Is it burgundy? But that's going away. And what you will see, it's a little hard to look at, but what you will see is in the area where we have the juice bar, we're going to refresh that and make it into a coffee bar with high and low top tables. We're going to move the front desk into a circular front desk that's going to be closer to the front door. This is an idea, a rendering of what that space will look like. We're going to have new flooring. We're going to do two-tone flooring to help define the areas. Front desk will look something like this. The coffee bar will look something like that. Now, these are renderings, so don't get too married to them, but these are to give you an idea of what they will look like. That's what the front desk will be, and that's the color palette. We're going to get away from the burgundy columns and the green checker floor. And one of the areas that we really lack in this space is a full-service kitchen. So it's our intention to completely renovate and expand the kitchen, which is beside the multi-purpose room, increasing storage, putting in some commercial appliances so that it's more suitable. This is going to be the color palette and more effective for the uses that we have. Several of the room partitions are going to be removed because we don't really divide the rooms anymore, and that will open up some of the spaces. Of course, your favorite pool. When the pool was opened, I told everybody that we've put a lot of work into it, but it is something that we have to continue to maintain over time. So it's like a little old vintage car. We've done a full renovation on it, but we gotta treat it with TLC every year. So be patient with us. And so with that, these are some of the improvements that have come, some of those that we're excited for and looking forward to. I'm also excited to tell you that we're not borrowing any money to do any of these projects. Now, the big facilities, the 96 million, you know, we couldn't shake that out of our couch cushions. That's a lot of money. So we are borrowing money for that. We're able to borrow it at 4.39% over 20 years. But for all of these other projects, we are able to pay for them out of some of the savings that we have accrued over the 9 years that we've been a city. When we started as a city, the city had to borrow money in order to pay salaries. Now we have money in our fund balance that we can do these projects without having to borrow any money to do these projects. So you should all be proud that this government, this mayor and council, have been good stewards of your taxpayer dollars over the 9 years that you've been a city. So Anisha Nichols is our grant director. She was not able to be here tonight. She is literally working on a deadline as we speak on a grant submission. But I did want to talk about the fact that in 2 years, we have been awarded $26 million in grants. And again, this council pressed me. They said, you need to make sure we're applying for grants. We're leaving money on the table. Anisha came on our team. She is actually here a year today. Today is her 1-year anniversary in the city. And since she's been here and the year before, this is what we've been able to garner in grants. Some of this we have to match, but, you know, so it's not totally free money. Sometimes we have to put a match toward it, but it's money that we otherwise would not have in order to do projects. And I'm not going to read through all of these, and this will be available to you, but this is funding for roads, it is funding for public safety, it is funding for infrastructure, it's funding for parks, all of the things that we need in order to be a vibrant city. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for allowing me to share some of the updates with you. We won't take questions right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Code so they can talk about their section, and we'll take questions after, if that's okay.
Fill out your cards and we'll start coming by picking up some of the questions. And you all see we've been very busy. I didn't have time to go to Africa. Can you tell? I didn't have time to go to Africa. The only place I've gone is to the GMA conferences to find out how to move us forward, National League of Cities, and Washington, D.C., begging people to give us money, and you see it worked. So.
Good evening. My name is Officer Lawrence Muhammad, and I'm here this evening standing in for our Director Paul Muhammad, also our case managers, Ms. Tiffany Hall and Mr. Douglas Reed. I'm the field training officer with Code Enforcement. Next month will be my 2nd year with the City of South Fulton. And as Code Enforcement, our job is to improve the quality of life in the City of South Fulton. And there were quite a few things that were going on and are going on in South Fulton. And when it comes to violations and complaints and dealing with property, citizens call and you show your concern, and we attempt to respond to those concerns, but it does take time. Code Enforcement is in constant communication. Our director is in constant communication with the attorneys for the City of South Fulton, with the city manager, to make sure that when we move and do certain things with people's property, that we're covering all the bases and that we're not opening up the city for any liability. This was a wing depot that was operating illegally for some time. Our code enforcement officers inspected and found that this building wasn't a real building, it was a trailer. And once we discovered that and we checked the codes, we were able to force the owner to demolish this eyesore. It was associated with a lot of illegal activity and safety hazards, and now that site has been demolished and is going to be continued to clean to create more safety in our community. On White Road, again, when we get complaints about properties that are hazardous, that have many violations, it is a process. So with these properties, with these two properties, 4645 White Road, Judge Sheridan has just granted us a demolition order. So that property is going to be in the process of being demolished, as well as 4670, White Road also. We've gotten a demolition order from the judge, so we're going to be demolishing and clearing up these properties. Next, this is not in District 3, but this is a major accomplishment for not just code enforcement, but for the city of South Fulton. We recently were able to demolish Building 9, which was a hazard, a dangerous structure, and we have eliminated it, and that site is being cleaned up, and we are going to continue to remove any properties within South Fulton that poses a hazard. So that was a long, almost 9-month process to legally safely remove that building in Camelot. So it was a huge success for the city of South Fulton as well as code enforcement. We have a program called Code Cares. Many times when we get a call about a violation and we go out, oftentimes we find seniors, and we find seniors in properties where they may have gutters, windows, roof issues, trees. Fallen trees are a big problem in South Fulton. And a lot of times those seniors can't afford to get those renovations and repairs done. So what code enforcement has done recently, we have partnered with World Changes. And World Changes has a volunteer program with over 400 volunteers. And in a very near future, we are going to be utilizing those volunteers, especially in District 3, to come out when we find seniors with violations and repair needs. We're going to be working with this foundation to help seniors in our city to get those repairs done. They're coming with a full force of volunteers that have carpentry skills, tree removal, you name it. We're going to be able to do a lot more in the city of South Fulton, especially for our seniors, and that is our Code Cares program. These are some of the other initiatives that we have in code enforcement. My favorite, because I am an organic farmer, is agriculture. And that workshop deals with talking to people who are on AG1 properties, letting them know that some of the things that they're doing, there are different codes, regulations for AG1, but a lot of the larger properties have storage containers and other violations that we are trying to rein in within the city of South Fulton. Our other initiatives that we have and programs which have really put the city of South Fulton code enforcement on the map is Heal to Burn. We have a lot of properties that get burnt in the city of South Fulton. The citizens call and you complain, but there is a process. Oftentimes, the owners of these properties have to wait on insurance claims, so it's a long process, but we put them on the list and we monitor that process so that we can inform the citizens where that property owner is in that process. We have Junior CEO, which we go into the high schools and the middle schools and talk to young people about code enforcement. We have a culture, unfortunately, of people who like to litter. It's a taught habit. And so we are trying to reach young people, encourage them to change that culture and have pride in their city. We also have HOA code enforcement education, and we go out and we speak to functioning HOA organizations. They usually have different rules and regulations, and we try to make a connection and have some coherence with those HOAs operating in the city. We also have Power of Compliance is an event we have twice a year, where we also talk about different code initiatives, policies, and we take questions from the citizens. Our department has had national recognition. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a missing slide, but I'll just let you know some of the awards that our department has received. We had the Community Service Award, is an International Code Council Award for 2025. We have a recognition certificate, Code Officer Safety Foundation for 2025, a Department Award, a proclamation by the City of South Fulton, National Code Appreciation Month for 2025, and our director received the Commemorative Service Award from the Georgia Association of Code Enforcement for 2026. With that, I will leave you and thank you again for your support for our wonderful city of South Fulton. Thank you.
Okay, I got one question for me, and then the rest of the questions have been disseminated. And then we'll bring up, who you bringing up next? Okay, economic development. This question came from, are they going to allow current warehouses to be used for detention centers, ICE? That's one question. Our legislation, so local municipalities have local control. So we decide what we want our zoning codes to be. With the help of you all, we also decide what we want in our comprehensive development plan. That's what we've been working on, that update when we did the charrettes. And so federal agencies have respected local codes and local laws. But this administration has done what they wanted to do. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, you know, they won't usurp our powers. They historically have not. And that's why we are putting in our code that we don't want that allowable use for our warehouses that we do have in our municipality. We're encouraging other municipalities to do the same. I have had other people reach out to me for the legislation. So as of now, that's what the legislation says. We are not going to allow that to be an allowable use. Dr. Alexander will be coming up, and he can talk to you about his conversation he had with ICE. Will there be any widening of the roads due to all of the construction? The traffic in South Fulton is horrible, and it's going to get worse because guess what? We're the fastest growing region. People have nowhere to go. The development is going to happen here. What I will tell you that because traffic is horrible and because we're getting more density, that is going to set us up to get more traffic improvement. Widening the roads, what I have learned from going to Washington, D.C., only allows for more traffic to come in the area. It doesn't help traffic. It allows for more traffic to come. But there are some initiatives on the way in the South Fulton region that will help us with traffic. But that's a good thing because the more traffic we have, the more density we have, it helps us lobby and get more money for us to do road and traffic calming improvement. Okay. Oh, yes. Dr. Alexander is coming up to talk to you all about law enforcement and ICE. And then Public Works is after him, so he'll give you all of the updates regarding traffic improvement.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being out. While I'm up here, how was the food, by the way? It was good? Okay, all right. Real quick, as many of you may remember, over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of conversation around ICE being observed or seen in the community here in South Fulton. And it certainly, it came up on the internet. A lot of people were asking questions. Are they in our community? What are they doing? Et cetera, et cetera. And then there were some people who observed also that ICE had moved a caravan of new vehicles that was coming through South Fulton, and there was this belief that somehow they were bringing in platoons of ICE agents to overwhelm our community. And it's amazing how these rumors oftentimes get perpetuated and carried on, and people get up on the internet and make statements that oftentimes doesn't have any real basis to it. However, considering the fact that across the country over the last few weeks, what we have seen in Minneapolis and California and Chicago and other places, it certainly do raise a level of anxiety for people, and rightly so. So what I of being in South Fulton. The new vehicles, the vehicles that people say they observed were just vehicles that were being brought, I think, into College Park where they have an office. They were swapping out old vehicles for new vehicles. Now, they do have a mission. Prior to this current administration, ICE worked very quietly, seeking those who are in the country illegally by the powers that were invested in them, and they didn't make a whole lot of ruckus, but we're seeing a lot different case here now. However, in this community, what he assured me is there may be upon occasion that they may have identified someone that they need to take into custody, but it's not going to be the dramatic scenes that you've seen on television, where they're pulling people over, snatching people out of cars, kicking in doors of people's homes, and any of those things. That's how they will not operate. But he did assure me that should they ever come into the city, that they would give us a call if they came into the city seeking someone. Our role is not to assist them, but I think it's important that if they come into this city in light of everything that's going on, that they give us a heads up, and they assured me that they would. And until they show something different, I'm going to go with that. But more importantly than anything else, there was just, I certainly do believe the fact they have no intent, have never had any intent of coming into our community, doing any of their operations that we've seen them do nationally. But here again, upon occasion, they may identify a target that they're looking for. They will look for that specific person, and they will make their arrest, and that will be it. Now, if we being the police department, are ever called to a scene where they may happen to be, police personnel have already been instructed. We will respond to that scene as we would any other call for service. We will assess. We will make an attempt to de-escalate whatever is there. And once de-escalation takes place, we would remove ourselves from the scene. We do not assist them in any of their missions or their arrests. That is totally on them. But the most important thing for me is to make sure that people in the city of South Fulton have a sense of safety and a removal of fear that ICE is going to come into this community and disrupt this community as it is. And there's no evidence to suggest that. We haven't had no reported calls of ICE interfering or doing anything nefarious that would have brought major concern to us. So it was a great conversation with them, and we shared notes, we shared information, and we will go forward and we will do everything that we can to make sure that the citizens in this community receive the type of public safety that they deserve, and we feel good about that. So, was there anything else you wanted me to mention? Okay, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions real quick? No? Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Antonio Valenzuela, Public Works Director for the City of South Fulton, and I'm delighted to be here with you all on District 3. I'm going to be sharing with you about 14 projects that the City of South Fulton has in District 3. Some of them are sidewalks and roundabouts. Some of the sidewalks that we plan for you all is to ensure that your communities have some connectivity among each other. Some of the roundabouts is to provide you safety, to ensure that we provide pedestrian safety as well as relieve congestion and make it safer for all motorists and pedestrians. Some examples that I can cite for you are perhaps the Butner Road at Union Road roundabout that we completed last year, a newly roundabout that is about to be completed, the one on Roosevelt Highway and Washington Road, the two roundabouts that are under construction at Stonewall Hotel and Union Road, and Old Fairburn Road at Union Road. And more to come. Some of the projects that you see right here are projects that are under concept design, preliminary design, and design, and final design, and getting ready to construction. You might ask and wonder why are the projects not moving as quickly as we wish to. There are different reasons. We must acquire the necessary rights of way to build the project, and sometimes that takes months, sometimes more than a year, and so on. An average number of parcels that's required per project is about 10. If we build sidewalks, we have 30 parcels, 40, 50, in some cases 70 parcels to acquire. So it takes a bit of time to get those things down. So that's done during the preliminary design. Then we go into construction phase. And then you might think, why is construction not moving faster? We must relocate utilities as we're building the projects. And when we discuss about utilities, you have water issues, you have gas, you have telecommunication, and you have power issues. All those entities, they do the same stuff that we do. They must acquire as well their proper parcels and easements to reinstall and relocate their utilities. But in general, we work with them ahead of schedule to ensure that they are relocating their utilities as we're moving with construction. In many cases, we wish that it could be easier, but it is not. That's a reality. But we're committed to complete the projects on the schedule and especially within budget. More intersections, bridges, and roundabouts. There are some that are getting ready to be built starting in the summer of this year. Some of those projects, I will say, is DeMooney Road at Wood Stoves. It's a roundabout coming up. Enon Road at Stonewall Hotel. It's another roundabout that's getting ready to be led to construction. We have Welcome All at Gillette Road. It's an intersection realignment. The newly Welcome All at Scarborough Road. It's another roundabout that's very close by here. And a couple of bridges as well that are shared with other districts. Those bridges are going to be are under design. We have held open house meetings with the community, received their input. And I want to ensure you that all the projects that we're designing are designed under a complete street design, which means that every project that we have will have sidewalks and will have street lights. Then if we have sidewalks, we're also adding pedestrian lights. If we're building roundabouts, we're adding landscape. I can talk with you with regards to the 14 projects that we have, but I'm sure it will take us way more time to get into the weeds of each project. But if you have any specific questions to a particular project, I'll be glad to answer after the presentation. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. With that, thank you for your time.
Next, we will hear from our economic development team, Ms. Teresa and Ms. Trevor. And Mr. Bethesda, we put some questions there so you can look over the questions and be able to answer when they get finished.
Good evening. My name is Teresa Parham. I'm the Deputy Director of Economic Development for the City of South Fulton. I've had the pleasure to serve the City of South Fulton for about 4.5 years to this date. Our office actually started on Roosevelt Highway in District 3, where we partnered and collaborated with Mayor Gumbs and also Councilmember Willis on several initiatives with the City of South Fulton Economic Development Office. Our department leads business attraction, redevelopment strategy, and small business development and support, and of course, corridor revitalization across the city. Tonight, I'll walk you through our strategic investments, our current development activity that is underway, the framework that's guiding the Red Oak redevelopment initiatives, and the catalytic projects shaping the future of the City of South Fulton. This is not short-term activation, this is long-term positioning for economic growth within the City of South Fulton. Our strategy operates across 4 pillars: strategic investment and revitalization, small business and community engagement, citywide activation, and measurable economic impact. With that, through the ARPA Facade Grant Program, ARPA being American Rescue Plan Act, we awarded $172,000 $55.93 to 20 businesses in the City of South Fulton. Each business was awarded between $10,000 to $20,000 to improve their facades on their storefronts. These funds strengthen storefront presentation, they strengthen our signage and exterior improvements, elevating corridor aesthetics, reinforcing private investment with confidence. We also secured $500,000 in the United States Environmental Protection Agency grant. This allows us to assess environmental complex, underutilized properties, and reduce redevelopment risks, marking sites that are market ready for private investment. Recruitment and retail strategies. We partner with Retail Strategies, a national recruitment forum and advisory firm that includes consumer spending, a leakage analysis, demographic market profiling, corridor performance and assessment, target retail outreach. This ensures with our recruitment areas of what type of retailers that we can actually attract to the City of South Fulton. This is not for it to be based on speculation, but we get the opportunity to build market profiles on all the predominant corridors, commercial corridors within the city. With this market information, we are able to match the quality of life retailers that we would like to recruit to the city. So this is a partnership that is undergoing right now with our Economic Development Office, and we will continue with that partnership with our retail recruitment strategies. We've also have our redevelopment areas in Red Oak and of course citywide with our urban design plan. Currently, Red Oak is an auto-oriented corridor. As you can see, some of the development is around auto. The urban design plan provides a cohesive redevelopment framework focused on streetscape revitalization, corridor branding, and gateway identity, and pedestrian connectivity. One of the things that we saw when we undergo that study was that we want to make sure that this corridor is walkable, pedestrian friendly. We're building a home base for cultural activities, for it to be more of a family-oriented environment. So we looked at traffic concerns, we looked at opportunity for small businesses to engage within the city, to operate in the city, for not only recruitment processes, but also sustain themselves right here in the city. So these plans helped us to identify those opportunities to support the initiatives as we move forward with recruitment opportunities. Citywide activations. We delivered over 120 direct business consultations, addressing expansion strategy, operational barriers, access to capital improvement projects. We connected 75 entrepreneurs to funding opportunities and technical assistance to help sustain their businesses within the city of South Fulton. Through the UGA, the University of Georgia, we made a strong partnership with their Small Business Development Center, where we supported over 40 businesses that received structured growth, supportment, and financial analysts of their businesses. We coordinated over 12 ribbon cuttings this past 2025 across all the major corridors, reinforcing business confidence, signaling reinvestment, and building momentum in our business industry within the city of South Fulton. This is an ecosystem of development. We're not just about programming. Citywide activations, I know that some of you probably have been to our farmers market. Our department hosts over 18 market days where we supported small business, home business, brick and mortars right here across our major commercial developments. And there we supported over 5,000 attendees per market when we hosted it, 3 markets within District 4, Old National District, which incorporates District 5, 6, and 7, and of course, District 3. The activation increases foot traffic right here in these corridors. It strengthens vendor revenue, and it supports corridor vitality. Currently, in District 3, we have 19 land disturbance projects that I wanted to actually identify. The Department of Labor Job Corps Center, 4850 Washington Road, South Fulton. The site is currently under utility in progress with the demolition and new roads, utility, parking, and storm water infrastructure. Camp Creek Middle School replacement, Phase 1, 4345 Welcome All Road, South Fulton, has a multi-phase redevelopment and grading, demolition, and full build-out of a new school campus with parking and athletic facilities. Gillette Road of the subdivision of 99 lots, it has a large-scale single-family subdivision ready for approval. Fifth Third Bank, I know a lot of us is excited about that, at 5290 Calvinton Fairburn Road, is a new one-story financial institution with drive-through and site improvements. The Courtney multifamily development at 4637 Yates Road, site preparation is underway for new apartment development, including grading, utilities, and roadway access. Old Fairburn subdivision of 30 lots, Old Fairburn Road, residential development is currently in progress. Lake Charles Dam repairs is an infrastructure of stabilization for a project underway. The level of activity signals preparation for growth and reinforcement of long-term investments and confidence in District 3. Now I will want to narrow our process and our focus specifically to Red Oak District with District 3. Red Oak is a corridor with a deep history, once a strong commercial gateway with regional access, community serving retail. Over time, shifts happen, development patterns change, priorities went left, but we are now building a vision and a plan with strategic partners, business owners, board members, so that our work in restoring the strength and intentional strategic development is underway. At this time, I would like to introduce our Main Street manager, Mr. Trevor Thornton, who leads the coordination of the Red Oak District Main Street program and its initiatives, so he can give an overview of the efforts in that district.
Good evening. Again, my name is Trevor Thornton. I serve as the Main Street Manager for the City of South Fulton. So I've worked in the Economic Development Department going on 2 years now. District 3 is one of my is my area of priority, and also managing the Red Oak District Board. I'm here today to highlight some of the wins that we actually had this past year. The board and I, we have been working hard. The very first of the wins that I wanted to bring up was the installation of the Red Oak banners that are now running along Roosevelt Highway. Like I said, it took a lot of time and energy to get the design, the approvals, and the installation of them. We do realize that there are a few that have come down, don't worry. In a couple of days, we've already put a plan together to get the ones that have come off reinstalled. The second item on the list that we delivered community engagement events, including the Red Oak Fall Festival, the Summer Series, and the Farmers Market Food Truck Fridays. If you hadn't had the chance to interact with or come to one of our events, we're doing a lot of the same events again this year. We'd love to see your face. Next, we enhanced the corridor's aesthetics through seasonal holiday lighting installations. So for this past Christmas holiday, you saw we had the Christmas lights installed on Roosevelt Highway for the first time. Thank you. Yes, we wanted to have the same aesthetic as a lot of the other main thoroughfares, Cascade, Old National Highway. So we were able to accomplish that this year. Next, we strengthened the business and community engagements with the Red Oak business mixers and community cleanups. This most recent one that community cleanup we had over 50 volunteers to come and join us. We'll be running another one in April. We'd love to see you there as well. We supported the Roosevelt Highway Roundabout Initiative. I'm sure everybody in this area has seen that. So Roosevelt and Washington Road, they're wrapping up the installation of that roundabout. We launched the Red Oak website and social media platforms to improve district marketing and communications. And we supported small business growth. We were able to bring in a few businesses to the Red Oak district. Most recently, we had the ribbon cutting on January 9th for the pop-up shop, which is a clothing store right on Roosevelt Highway in the Red Oak Shopping Center. And like Councilwoman Willis mentioned earlier, we have the Big Mama's Breakfast that will be opening up in the old bank that was also in between the plazas as well. Tentatively, we have it scheduled for March 23rd, but I will definitely let everybody or keep everybody posted on when that actually takes place. As far as the businesses too, I also we had a few honorable mentions. Last year, we also did a ribbon cutting for Mid-South Steel. Mid-South Steel is one of a steel manufacturing plant where they manufacture beams and support beams and stuff that will be shipped all over the country. And there were a few other businesses that I'd like to point out. We had Advanced Construction Development Corporation, Curry and Burger, and Beat Feets. So, like I said, this is only the beginning. We plan on doing way more and really developing the businesses that we have here. Thank you all.
So thank you, everybody, for allowing us the opportunity to give you an overview of the economic development. I would like to also close with that we are located at 6385 Old National Highway. If you haven't had the opportunity to visit our office, please do so. Economic development is not just buildings, it's not just recruitment of businesses, but it's about quality of life and the residents that we support. So if you have ideas, if you have input on how we can engage and support revitalization efforts, development efforts within the city of South Fulton, currently the economic development operates under 5 boards that is centered across 7 districts within the city of South Fulton, including 2 governing boards. So again, your input is valuable to us as we progress and move efforts forward. So again, please stop by our office. We have more information to provide. We also have an economic development partner guide. I know we went high level with some of the information that was shared tonight, but we do have more information to prepare. I will share with you, and I also would like to acknowledge our Red Oak Advisory Board members. If you would like to stand and raise your hand. Thank you guys for all your support, your dedication. The Red Oak Advisory Board was established in 2022, so the board members have worked effortlessly with their dedication to economic development initiatives and opportunity within the city of South Fulton. So thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Willis, for your support. Since we've been on Roosevelt Highway, you have always been a leader with economic development opportunities and ideas. You have really supported us and driven us. Thank you for your support. Thank you, City Manager Subadan, for your support as well. Happy Women's History Month as we're making power and strides within the city of South Fulton.
Thank you, Teresa. I love her. As we prepare for Mr. Turner to come up with the park and recreation updates, I want to say closed mouths don't get fed. Do you all remember when you all did not like the club up there, Burn Lounge, and that Pink Bank, they were trying to put another beauty salon there, and you all said no, and I got attacked for not supporting black businesses, but guess what? We got something even better now. Because the Big Mama's restaurant is owned by someone that was raised in this community. The pop-up shop is owned by someone that was raised in this community. So when you all support me in your voices, we get things done and we get things that you all really want.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me? My name is Townhall Turner. I am the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of South Fulton. And you know what? Before I start this presentation, what I want to do is I want to talk about District 3. So just bear with me for a second. Let's talk about District 3, what we have. This is a jewel. So Welcome Mall is considered a Class 5 facility. That means it has a natatorium, full gym, walking trails, and multi-generational fields, right? One of the best in the state, not just the South Side in the state. I want you to understand, I've been doing this a long time. This is one of the best facilities in the state. Not only that, right? So I wanna educate you. Not only that, hundreds of thousands of people visit this park every year. Every year, we have the Yeek Fest that brings people from all over the state. Is that correct? Hundreds of thousands of people come to the Yeek Fest. We bring 6 flags to welcome all in our trunk or treat. Hundreds of thousands of kids are out here trunk or treating, candy. So what I'm trying to say is this is a jewel. We have it on any given Saturday or Sunday. There's thousands of people, whether they're at the pavilions, whether they're having family reunions. This park is highly visible. You could go in Gwinnett, you can go in Macon. They know, if you say Welcome All Park, they know where Welcome All Park is. And a lot of that is due to the hard work and dedication to Councilwoman, because that wasn't the case when we were back in Fulton County, and I'm just being transparent, right? That wasn't the case. So she's worked hard for this district to get the participation numbers. We also have South Fulton Tennis Center, the best tennis facility on the South Side and probably in the state. People come from Gwinnett, Roswell, Macon. I see people all the time in the facilities. They come here, they compliment us on the staff, our operations, the civic engagement. I mean, we have a lot. This place is booming. We have a very huge senior engagement. Our seniors are wonderful. So I thought I would start off by just telling you that the participation numbers at Welcome All are through the roof. With that being said, I thought I needed to lead with that so you'll understand really what you have in the city of South Fulton. So when we look at our programming, like I said, Welcome All Park participation numbers, we have a waiting list in everything we do. So we break it down into athletics, aquatics, senior services, and I'm going to talk about the FY26 program initiatives moving forward in the South Fulton Tennis Center. So like I said, we have our youth programs that's youth basketball, and we had so many participants in basketball, we had to develop a developmental spring league. That's just due to the numbers. The numbers are outrageous. Everything we do, we have a waiting list. So we had to come with a development league just to offset some of the people that was upset because they couldn't get in our regular basketball league. We have track and field, we have youth flag football, we have cheerleading, we have Little Peaches, and we have one of the premier baseball youth athletic associations here in Marquise Grissom. Hundreds of thousands of kids playing Marquise Grissom Youth Association here, right here at Welcome All. So that's a staple. We also have, like I said, we have adult swim classes. The pool is absolutely amazing. If you haven't been in the pool, please get into it. I've been in it a couple of times. I do come in here in the mornings and work out with the seniors. Sometimes I get in the pool. Sometimes I just come and work out. But if you haven't been in the pool, please try the pool. Water aerobics for seniors. These are the dates and the times. We have parents, infants, toddlers that can get in the pool as well. We have our traditional after-school program, of course, that we run during the school year. We do have a magnificent non-traditional Saturday school program, and that's on the 1st and 3rd of every Saturday. We have our regular summer camp program, which, again, we always have a waiting list, so you got to get in early. Our seniors, oh, my God. Our seniors are absolutely amazing, so as you can see, we have to keep them busy. We have to keep them very busy. One of the best book clubs, Club 55, we're one of the best book clubs. I see some of my seniors back there. Raise your hand. We have chair yoga, book club, aerobics, Zumba, quilting. We have to keep them busy. We have to keep them busy. So any of these information, the times and the dates are correct. Like I said, I do have my seniors back there. I see Dr. AJ is back there. I do have staff back there if you want to sign up for any of the senior activities. Also, I want to talk to you about some new initiatives that we have going on. One of the things that I'm proud of is our Generations Read Together program. It's a program where we tie kids and seniors together, they read. We started that program, I think, this month, and I think we've already started that program. It's been good. I'm very proud of that program. That's non-traditional. We also have our Savvy Tech Senior program. We're going to start March the 25th. We're going to have that from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And last but not least, we're going to have Flavors of South Fulton, which is our sort of like a culinary art class for our seniors as well. With that being said, I am finished. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions? No questions? Thank you, thank you.
Next, we will have our fire chief, Chad Jones, and then we will answer some of these questions. So go ahead and read your questions that you all have so you can provide responses. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Well, good evening, everyone. All right. I know y'all woke up after Tenard. He's very inspirational. So for those that don't know me, I'm Chad Jones, and I am honored to be the fire chief of the city of South Fulton. Actually, Sunday was 5 years since I have taken the position. We may have died. We have frozen the slides. We've been here so long. All right, well, there you go. Thank you, Ms. Wells. So, again, I was asked to come here and give y'all a high level of your fire department. We are very busy. We have a lot going on, a lot of initiatives, but I wanted to direct it just to this district. As you see, your fire department covers over 100 square miles, and we do it with 9 fire stations. In there, we have raised our staffing from 173 to now we're up to 233 firefighters that serve you. You have 2 fire stations that are in your district, Station 1, which is right up the road at Welcome All, and Station 3 on Stonewall Tell. As you see, Station 3 is the 3rd busiest engine in the city running this area, and Station 1 is the 5th busiest, so quite a few calls in your area. Last year, we ran over 23,000 calls in the city of South Fulton. In your district was about 6,200. About 27% is in this district. Again, we're on the same totals for this year. You can see almost 4,000 calls, just about 1,100 calls in your district. So very busy in and around this. One of the things I'm most proud of in an initiative that was started a couple years ago when I got here, about 30% of this department was trained in EMS. We're up to 96% trained EMT paramedics serving you each and every day. We have 28 recruits. Yes. We have 28 recruits in the academy currently. When they come out, we'll be at about 98%. Again, that is by the support of the mayor and the council and the city manager helping us to get to there. And why is that important? Because almost 55% of the calls that we run on are EMS calls. So it's very important that we have trained personnel to respond on these calls. Next. So the accomplishments and initiatives that we have done over the last 5 years and over the last year, again, when we came in, the equipment we got from Fulton County, we needed to upgrade. We have fully gone through the whole fleet, modernized it, and we've implemented what they call no smoke. Why is that important? We're environmentally safe. So a lot of firefighters get sick off of the diesel exhaust. Our equipment does not put out diesel exhaust through this. Whether it's in the station, on the scene, riding through, there's no diesel exhaust coming from our apparatus for the city of South Fulton. Very important. Yes. We've upgraded all our tools and equipment, and we've integrated new technology throughout the department to help us to serve you with our record management system, and we've implemented data metrics. So we are making decisions that are data-driven, not just guesses. We've completed the station location analysis and planning to expand. As you heard from the city manager, we bought property to relocate and rebuild Station 3 in the future. That was part of the planning. New community initiatives. We're so excited about things that we've been able to bring straight to you. Our Camp Embers program, this will be the 4th year. It targets young women and brings them into the fire service. This program is run by the women of our fire department, and it teaches them not only about fire service, but again, it's engaging, it brings them a network. Very proud of this, and we currently have 2 firefighters that have came through the program that's been hired that are now in the field, and we have 2 more recruits from this. So bringing right from our community into the fire stations. Our CERT program, again, Community Emergency Response Team. Very important that our community knows what to do. We've had tornadoes, we've had floods, we've had ice storms. Our community has to be involved to help us move forward. This program, I think we have a couple of graduates from the program. We will be expanding it and growing, coming to your community soon. And then community CPR. Nationwide, the success rate of bringing someone back that had a heart attack grows 3 to 4 times when the community acts fast. So we do have a community CPR program that we've launched, and we're growing it. Again, we've established our hazmat team and implemented it. For many of y'all that know, Fulton Industrial Boulevard has the largest cache of hazmat in the Southeast. Now you can depend that we have a team to respond so we don't have incidents like Conyers and other things that happen. And this year we were able to complete and publish our strategic plan. You know, if you don't plan, you fail. And we have planned to make this a great next 5 years. And finally, what I want to bring up, with our emergency manager, we have now finalized our continuity of operation plan, our local emergency plan, and our hazard mitigation plan. Those are all things that we have brought forth to the city to help sure that in any type of incident, we're prepared as department heads and as departments to make sure that this city continues to move forward and strive no matter what comes. With that, I'm here. My team is here. We're here to answer any questions. We just love serving the city and want to know what you want from us and how we can improve. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Jones. And last, we have Jubal Rogers, Major Jubal Rogers, who will let us know how safe we are.
Last but not least, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking this time out of your busy schedules to come and support Councilwoman Willis in District 3 of the Town Hall meeting we're having tonight. My name is Major Jubal Rogers. I'm the Field Operations Division Commander, and I'm here on behalf of the City of South Fulton Police Department and our Interim Public Safety Director, Dr. Cedric Alexander. I want to thank Dr. Alexander for his leadership and unwavering commitment to keeping our community safe. Under the direction of himself and Deputy Chief Eddie Smith, we've been able to make real measurable progress, and the results I'm going to share with you tonight are a direct reflection of their leadership. First, let me say it's been a privilege to stand before this community in District 3. It's not just a place we patrol, it's a community we are proud to serve, and we are grateful for the partnership we have built with each and every one of you. Now let's get to the numbers as they tell a powerful story of what we're doing in District 3. In the words of Dr. Alexander, South Fulton does not have a crime problem. When we compare the period of January 1st through March 1st of last year to the same period this year, citywide crime is down 27%. Specifically in District 3, crime is down 19.23%. I'll break a few of those numbers down. Auto theft is down 28.57%. Burglary is down almost 63%. That is significant. Larceny from vehicles is also down 28.5%. Murder was down 100%. We went from one homicide this period last year to 0 this year, but I'll highlight that a little bit in the next slide as well. And robbery held steady with no increase. This is a testament of your hard work and also the dedication of our officers and your partnership with us. I want to take a moment to address something that's kind of been heavy on us the last 24 hours. So I did mention District 3 had 0 homicides for the year up until last night about 11:30. We had a 16-year-old that was killed due to a violent incident in our community. His life was tragically cut short, but I want to let you know that the City of South Fulton, we're actively investigating this incident. Our detectives have been working across the clock. But I want to speak to you tonight not just as a representative of the police department, but as someone who cares deeply in this community. Talk a little bit about curfew, because I mentioned specifically that 16-year-old, he was out at 11:30 last night, specifically on a school night. Parents and guardians, I need your attention right now. I see a lot of grandparents in the room as well. I was raised by my grandmother, and one thing in particular, I had to be in the house by the time the streetlights came on. We've seen these teen takeovers through Metro Atlanta. You've seen recently in the news. That type of behavior, it won't happen in South Fulton. Did you know that we have a curfew ordinance in effect? Under the City of South Fulton Juvenile Curfew Ordinance, it is unlawful for minors 17 and under to be out in public unsupervised without an adult during curfew hours. That means Sunday through Thursday, your children cannot be out unaccompanied from 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, from 12 o'clock up to 6 o'clock. This is not about punishment. This is about protection. This ordinance exists for one reason, and that is to keep our children safe. So I'm asking you tonight, do you know where your children are or your grandchildren? Do you know where they are and who they're with? Do you know what they're doing after dark? We just lost a 16-year-old, somebody's baby. We cannot allow that to become a pattern. So please make sure you know where your children are home. Make sure your children are home and under the supervision during curfew hours. Talk to them, know their friends, know their movements, because we would rather see your child safe in your home rather than become a name on a police report. So next, we will talk about some of the community engagement activities that we have going on to keep our youth busy and occupied. Now, we know that policing alone doesn't solve every problem. That's why we are deeply invested in community engagement and youth programs. Captain Derek Rogers and his team at PAC, they do an excellent job, especially with our PAL program. So we have one of the initiatives we're doing is a PAL Pass program. That's Prepare, Act, Steer, and Succeed. That's a team driving initiative. Through Safe Track, we equip young drivers with the skills and confidence they need for safe and responsible driving. Just to highlight that, I worked with our HEAT unit. That's our Highway Enforcement and Aggressive Traffic unit on Saturday, and I made 11 traffic stops. 9 of those traffic stops were for juveniles under the age of 17 years old, traveling 30, 40 miles over the speed limit, particularly on 85, one on Old National, and Welcome All Road, which is one of our highest incident rates for traffic fatalities. So this type of program that we have in place, we want to make sure we encourage safe driving behaviors and responsible driving. So with this program, PAL, they will pay for the Georgia permit tests in compliance. Also with Georgia, Joshua's Law, which is a 30-hour course for defensive driving. We also institute police encounter training and also mock pullovers. This program will take place on March the 18th at the Rise Building, which is at 5767 Old National Highway. One of the other events taking place is the Parents Hub, which is a monthly program that connects parents with PAL and also the City of South Fulton Police. Our mission for that program is to build stronger communities through shared awareness. Each session focuses on youth trends, digital influences, and emerging challenges. And finally, we also have the PAL Teen Mentoring Program, which is a valuable opportunity for young people 13 to 18 years of age to gain life skills and prepare them for their future. In closing, I would like to leave you with this. The numbers I shared tonight, the 19% drop in crime, the reductions in burglary, auto theft, and larceny, those are numbers, not just statistics. They represent safer streets, safer homes, and safer families in District 3. But we cannot do this alone. We continue to need you to be our eyes and ears on the streets. We need parents to step up and be present in their children's lives, and also to be engaged and stay engaged. Come to these type of meetings, participate in the programs, and continue to hold the police department accountable as well. To the family of the young person that was lost yesterday, our hearts are with you and your family, and we will continue to investigate that incident. Councilwoman Willis, we want to thank you for your commitment and service to the City of South Fulton. Councilwoman Willis has been a staunch supporter of public safety, in particular the police department, and we just want to continue to thank her and her future endeavors as well. Thank you.
So now what we're going to do, we got your questions. The city manager is going to allow her department heads to go through, pass the mic down. It's getting late. And answer your questions. Rick Blaylock, he's here. He has a camera set up. If you all want to stop by and say some positive things or say whatever, we would love for you all to do that so I can go back and look at it. I'm not going anywhere, so I don't want you all to think that I'm abandoning you, because I'm not. I will still be here. I will still be advocating, but I am just elevating myself so that I can help more people. We pay 3 taxes: schools, county, and city. And if I were to go around this room and ask you what county services do you all feel that we are getting, half of you all wouldn't know. And you all don't feel that we're getting what we should get. They're responsible for senior services, but we're filling in the gaps. They're responsible for health services. We only have a 50-bed emergency center coming to this area. Our wait time for ambulance services, which is under public health, but they appoint people to the emergency council, is about 18 to 20 minutes. And so I want to go advocate hard for us like I've advocated hard for us in this district. That's all I'm doing. Okay, I'll turn it over to the city manager, and so they can answer the questions that you all have provided. Thank you.
Mic check. Thank you. The first question is from S. Dunlap, I think. Are there any other proposals for other data mining centers within the district? And if so, what agreement for set-asides or, okay, can't quite tell what that is. Electricity costs paid for by the facility. So the data centers, I'll start with the last question, the last part of the question. Data centers have to work directly with the power company, and they have to pay for all infrastructure, and they have to guarantee payment for all infrastructure and any power that is required for the facility, and it's separate from power for residents and other businesses. That's been done by the Public Service Commission, and that is to protect average citizens from any accelerated or increased rates due to data centers. And Georgia Power in particular has fixed their base rate for 3 years. Any data centers that come to any district in the city of South Fulton must come in front of the city council to get a special use permit and be compliant with legislation passed to cover data centers in our city. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, I can. I have a question here from Ms. Glenda Collins. The question being, has the implementation of the flock cameras helped to reduce crime? The answer to that is twofold. Yes, it has, but in addition to that, it certainly do help in our follow-up investigations, because being able to have that technology available to us has really paid true benefit in being able to track vehicles across the city and across the region. So it has been very much of value. And the following question, are additional cameras needed? We can never have enough cameras. And we're working and doing everything that we can to expand our camera technology throughout the city. And last question is, what can we do to improve on finding the individual shooting guns on a nightly basis? One of the challenges associated with that is we know there's a large number of weapons throughout our society. A lot of that has to do with gun laws, particularly in states like Georgia and Florida, where I'm from, where the accessibility to guns are just there. But what we're attempting to do is that when our shot spotter system and technology goes off, we try to respond to those areas as quickly as we can to locate individuals. But oftentimes what happens, they will come out, they'll fire off a couple of rounds and may go back inside. And they're probably often, and sometimes they are often long gone before we get there. But that is a complaint that we certainly attend to. We're very sensitive to it. We hear it periodically from residents, but we don't overlook the fear and the concern associated with those weapons being fired at night. So, next question.
The first question is from Ms. Sheila Griffin. Her question is, are there any plans to extend work from the roundabout at Stonewall Tail and Union Road down to Old Fairburn Road? The answer is yes. At this point, the city is building a second roundabout on Old Fairburn Road and Union Road. The city also has other projects that are under design along Old Fairburn Road. The next question is, who do I speak with on getting potholes filled in? And yes, that will be Public Works. Please do not hesitate to use Cyclifix. We would like to use that system so we can pinpoint exactly where is the need, and we will react almost immediately. We do take care of those potholes within 24 hours max. We'll continue doing the same. And you have a follow-up question regarding park in front of houses located at Stonewall Tail by trailers. That is PD enforcement and as well as code enforcement. I'm aware that the city does not allow parking of those trailers in front of residences. The next question is from Sharon Love. When will a traffic light be installed at Highway 29 and the Stonewall Tail Road? The city of Union City has a project that wants to close a railroad crossing across Stonewall Tail. Subsequently, they have a project it's been under concept design. We have made some comments to their proposal, and we have not seen yet what is the outcome of their concept design. But if we install a signal at that location, will be only if the signal warrants the installation, and it will be, of course, discussed with Georgia DOT since Roosevelt Highway is on state route. And the last question is that I have for Ms. Rosalind Freddy. I wish an amendment to assure that Fulton County residents place their garbage dispenser at a safe distance. That's part of our ordinance. All your garbage bins should be placed inside the curb, not outside, not on the road. And it should be facing, the top should be facing the road. It should be away from mailboxes. It's typically on the opposite direction of your mailbox. So when the vehicle goes out there and lifts it, they don't have an issue, and either drivers that are on the road. As well as if you pull it in early in the morning, you got to pick that up, bring it back to the proper place as soon as possible. Thank you.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So my first question is from Ken and Yolanda Tonic. And their question, a blighted house on Tate Road causing rodents in our home, also at 3650 Tate Road. Does code enforcement have a case? Oh, it's causing health issues. So I did check the system. Oh, my apologies. Can you hear me now? Okay, so the question is in regards to two properties on Tate Road, 3640 and 3650. I was able to check the SAGES, and I did find a previous case on 3640, which had been closed out. There is not currently a case on it. I will have an officer go there first thing in the morning to do an inspection. You can also go into C-Click Fix and put in a request so that you can follow our progress for that property. The second question was from Pamela Harvey. And her question is about citizens are concerned about dangerous structures on Delano Drive. Will they be in order to knock those structures down? How do you prioritize structures that will be destroyed? So basically, code enforcement has to get an abatement order, and the properties that are most egregious in the city will be put on the list first. So we go after those properties that are most egregious. But that property or those structures on Delano Road, again, if you enter that property address and C-Click Fix, you can follow our progress, and we will go out and investigate to see if we can locate the owners. And if it qualifies, we will start the abatement process for that property. Thank you for your question. Did I answer your question? Oh, I'm sorry.
I have one question from Mr. John Walker. He's asking if a privacy fence could be installed at Welcome Park to keep homeowners safe from park trespassing through our property. People cut through my backyard all the time. It's very scary. So what I would like to do, I think that's a public safety issue. I would like to get with Captain Rogers and his team from the Park Rangers crew, and we'll get with them and see what can we do to combat those individuals who are coming through your property. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna have Captain Rogers to come over and get your information along with Tony Jordan. We'll help. Yes, sir.
I have a couple. Okay. I'll just take this one. I have a couple other questions here. Given today's heightened expectations around transparency and constitutional policing, what accountability benchmarks would you expect your next chief to prioritize in their first year, and how will success be measured beyond traditional crime statistics? I think one of the first things, and this is probably really more of a city manager's question, and I think her expectations, and we've had this conversation a number of times, is going to be from the next chief is going to be someone, whoever he or she may happen to be, who has the ability to continue to build relationships in the community. Because that truly is at the forefront of good public safety, is a leader coming into this community, being able to build relationships with citizens and other organizations, and also their comrades and that sit on this dais here with me, and being able to work in collaboration with them as well. Because public safety cannot happen unless you have both police and community involved actively together, partnering in that effort, and that is hugely important, and particularly in the first year. And how do you measure success? You really do have to look at metrics. You do have to measure how your crime is being reduced, or how it may be going up or going down. There's certain influences that police may or may not have on it. It's a lot of variables involved, but I think to be able to look at those metrics each week, each month, each year, and be able to assess how well we're doing around crime in terms of people feeling safe. And as you heard Major Rogers state a few moments ago, it's not so much that we have a crime problem in this community. The challenge is going to be for us, and I say this every day, is keeping crime at a minimum. It's keeping it low as we can. And that takes not just police, it also takes community, which is very much a part in helping us to be able to do this. So I hope that answers that question for you, Mr. Jason Bennett, and if it doesn't, I'll be around after this. Another question here, South Fulton has experienced growth alongside regional public safety challenges. What specific expectations do you have for your next chief in measuring and balancing measurable violent crime reduction with long-term community trust? The key here again is building those relationships with the community, having open dialogue, and oftentimes we hear the word transparency tossed around in many of our conversations, and constitutional policing and accountability. Those three words really came into play about 12 years ago now through the Obama's Task Force on 21st Century Policing. They became very commonplace. And through that, transparency, meaning being as open, being as honest with each other as we can, recognizing the importance that everyone has constitutional rights and being able to respect that. But in addition, as well, too, is that relationships, and I cannot overemphasize this, relationships between public safety, whether it's on the fire side or the police side, we cannot be effective, we cannot be as good as we are without support from the community. And that truly is a team effort. And I think what is demonstrated by what you've heard here tonight from both police and fire is a clear demonstration and a history of police and fire being able to work hand in hand with the community in order to resolve our issues and to keep our crime as low as we can throughout this community. I'll be around to answer any other questions that you may have following this. Thank you.
And the last question of the night, Eddie Bridgman And again, we will all be around after the meeting if you want to talk to us individually. Mr. Bridgman, speed on Welcome All Road. I'll toss that one over to Mr. Valenzuela for him to take a look at that. Welcome All Road is not likely to be a qualifier for speed bumps, but we can look at what traffic calming can be done. The Job Corps vacant site, Councilwoman Helen Willis has taken this issue all the way up to Washington. We do recognize that it is sitting there. We've been told it will not be completed. And so we will continue to pursue eliminating that blight. And then there was a concern about Willie Road having some dark spots. And so I'll also toss this over to Public Works Director for us to look at street lighting on Willie Road. With that said, thank you all very much. I don't think there are any more comment cards, but as I said, we'll be around in case anybody has any individual comments or questions. And Councilwoman Willis? You want to close us out? Yes. Oh, you have some more?
It's the job. So I got several questions about the Job Corps. Congresswoman Lucy McBeth visited us 2 weeks ago. And we have gone to Washington, D.C. twice about the Job Corps. The problem with the Job Corps is the Trump administration does not support the program. It's the largest free training program in the nation. They don't even know if the program is going to be funded beyond this fiscal year. The Job Corps National Association filed lawsuit against the government, and they got an injunction to not close the centers throughout the nation and to keep them open, and they are allowing them to enroll. But past this fiscal year 2026, we're not sure if the Job Corps program is going to be continued to be funded, which means that even puts the new campuses that were supposed to be built in jeopardy. Because if they're not going to fund the current program, you know they're not going to build new buildings. It's really it's awful because when they decided to defund the program the first time, there were a lot of kids that didn't have anywhere to go because a lot of the kids in Job Corps program, they have aged out of the foster care system. And so that's where they go. And so a lot of kids were homeless, they didn't know where to go. But they got an injunction to allow them to continue to operate. So with that being said, that land in our district that is now blight is owned by the federal government. We have no jurisdiction over that land. I have some ideas and some things I want to do once I become your county commissioner to advocate to do some things, but as of now, it's nothing we really can do because it's not under our jurisdiction, it's not under the county's jurisdiction. The only thing that I could tell you is to write your congressperson, write your senator, but they're going to tell you the same thing, that Trump administration do not support this program. He wants to make America great again, but he doesn't support the largest free training program in the nation that would give our youth skills to work in our manufacturers, to become welders, to become cosmetologists, to work in the medical field. I don't get it, I don't understand it, but that's the truth and that's where we are. All right, so it has been a pleasure. I'm not going anywhere. I have to keep re-emphasizing that. I will change my communication mode because I won't have a city email once I qualify for the next office. So I will give you another email you can reach me, another phone number you can reach me. Most of you already have my number, but I'll give you my number anyway. I will continue to send out newsletters. I will continue to come around your neighborhoods. And most important, I want you all to remember that you all have to get out. The recourse that we have to change what's going on in this nation is to what? Vote. We are here because people did not vote. And so now we pretty much have created a dictatorship in the nation because he has control over the Senate and he has control over the House. And they let him do whatever he wants to do. Also, state legislators, we don't have control over the General Assembly. There's one party in control of the Senate side and one party in control of the House side. Right now, they deliberated and voted on whether or not they should eradicate our property taxes, which will hurt our cities, most cities in the South, because most of our revenue is coming from property taxes. Our only recourse is to vote. People have died to give us that right. We should not have to beg people to go to the polls and vote. Please go out and vote. I cannot tell you in this facility who to vote for. I can only advocate for you to vote. Okay? That's our only recourse. And remind others to vote and take others to the poll. In the city of South Fulton, districts 2, 3, and 1 are typically the highest voting districts. But we need everybody in this whole city to vote. It shouldn't be that way, but we need everybody throughout the city to vote, okay? Please join me. I'll send out my announcement where you can meet me at 10 o'clock on Friday. I would love to see some of your faces there. And thank you all for your support. And as you see, we've accomplished a lot. Thank you, staff. Thank you, staff. Tell our staff thank you. Because we come up with the ideas. We come up with the ideas, but it's them who do the work and effectuate our policies. And so thank you to staff. It has been a pleasure working with you. And let's continue to move this city forward. Now, do you all feel like we need to start all over? Do you all feel like we need a fresh start? We need to continue moving forward. Thank you.